Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cool Conversations with Sheera Lee. Honey, honey, honey. You see, I am dressed in pink today, and this is in honor of two of my favorite Alpha Kappa Alphas. I have with me the awesome, sassy, and witty Ma Tony. Let me tell you, Noah is to love her. And then I have with me, this zany woman right here. If you follow her on social media, you know that she is a hoot. So I have with me the awesome writer, Sharice Hodges. Sharice, hello.
Hey,
Yes.
hello.
And like I used to call Sharice the bad girl of books, but you know what? Some of the stuff I see other people writing is almost like Sharice is almost tame. So I don't know. They want a neck now. So I don't know, honey. But let me tell you, if you want a good book, I've been following this chick ever since she had the first. When everybody had the cartoon covers in the beginning, they kind of come back. But hey, Miss Louise, but honey, now they're coming back. Now we got honey. Now we got them back again. And we are talking about Sharice Hodges. Won't Go Home Without You. Now, Sharice has this series right here, Sharice. Do you feel that it's a departure from some of your old work? And so,
I
in
think
what way?
I think so because it's more dealing with the family dynamic. I mean, it deals with the romance of the sisters and people that they meet, the people that they're dealing with, but it has a more of a family connection together. And with this series, it kind of takes place around the same time with those sisters. Like everything is kind of happening in order. It's
Yes.
like it's not a big time gap between
But
each
let me
story
tell you,
because
let me tell you, hey, look, everybody, let me tell you, I know I can't read what everything on this front page, but baby, she grabs your attention from the front page and don't let go. Mama Tony, what did you think when you read the very first page? Let me tell you, honey, did Robin give him the business?
I'm like,
That's what I'm thinking. He didn't take his coat off, did he, Mama
I'm
Tony?
like, get you 2 bottles of Long Island iced tea, a big cup of ice, cause you're gonna be here a minute.
Yes. Hey, Sarah Woodbury, let me tell you, you're going to be here a minute. Because let me tell you, she comes out the gate. I'm imagining homeboy, he done worked all night trying to stay live. He coming home thinking maybe he going to get him some sugar. And honey, he didn't get any sugar. He got a lump of wood. You hear me? He got a lump of wood. And he like, what went on? What happened?
He was like, what the hell?
Exactly. And I felt that for him. I was like, well, there it goes. She didn't give brother enough time to defend himself, to do anything.
He hadn't even crossed the threshold before she was on him with all four.
Now, Sheree, this is what I thought when I first read this. I said, Lord, Boo must have been angry when she wrote this. Now, were you taking out some frustrations against somebody on that? Because on the very first look, when they said grab you from the very first page, you grabbed the front page.
I wasn't for a change.
You said for a change.
I like that for a change.
I like that too, for a change. She said she wasn't.
I'll tell you, the person that I was really mad at the most is the nurse in the book. That person is actually based on a former coworker because I just did not like her at all. And I was like,
I couldn't tell. Look, I almost, Lord, look at that.
Wait a minute. You think?
A former co-worker. I hope she wasn't as trifling. I hope she wasn't trifling as this character in this book. Was she trifling, or was you have a personality conflict?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. It's a combination of both. And,
okay, whoa.
And I didn't change her name.
Oh my God. You were supposed to protect the innocent, babe. I always tell you, change the name to protect the innocent.
No, she said she's guilty, so she was like, she gonna let her have it.
Whatever. Like, she can have it. All I did was change the race. That's all I did.
Change the race. So, this book does have a very familiar tone to it. It has family all drawn into it. And I love the fact that we don't want to give so much away just in case you haven't read the book, but you really and truly need to get your hands on this book.
Mm-hmm.
I found it was a very good book. Even though it had some harsh themes, it was very entertaining and there were very laughable moments. What were
Yes.
some of the most funny moments to you?
I think when her sisters came to her house after she had basically told them on the phone she was done with her husband, and they come to the house and he comes downstairs with no shirt on, and it's like, oh my God, you're sleeping with this guy. Like, that's my husband. Like, what are you talking about? That's my husband.
Like she said, she got
Like,
right. She said she was mad, but she wasn't mad last night. Now I know that's right. Now we got somebody. Miss Walton said she is going to head to Amazon and get the book. Now look, hello, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And look, Sarah, when you head to Amazon to get the book, get a copy for somebody else too. Get a copy for somebody else too, because that's we all about spreading the word. Spreading the word, honey. And you know what? Let's talk about that. Because I know folks in that situation, not situation, but I'm call that situation where they perhaps are separated, but they have relations with the husband. And so I had a friend that it happened to, and she said that's her husband. She still got rights to him. So what y'all feel about that?
Well, sometimes you get an itch, and if you're going to get it scratched, you might as well get it scratched by the devil than going out and getting COVID from somebody that you don't know.
Oh, honey, look, COVID.
Or worse.
Exactly. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt to prove it. When I first got divorced and all this crazy stuff was out there, AIDS was popular, and I was like, okay, I know what I was getting. I don't care that we broke up. So, like I say, I let him scratch the itch till I met Gerald, and then I ain't need him to scratch the itch.
It's called, okay, we got some people say it's called a situationship. Let me tell you something. The last year or so, every time Tony come over here, or when she comes to our book club meetings, our private book club meetings, look, I'm thinking that we need to be writing books about Tony. I think people are missing the mark. Yeah. I'm just telling you. We're missing the mark.
I have lived a wonderful, wonderful life. I have no regrets. Done some things I don't want y'all to know about, and other things, but it's been good. It's been good. Right. And I'm grateful. 10 days from now, I come into season 74 with no regrets.
All right.
With no regrets at all. I used to say, I want to earn $1 million. Well, I've done that now. I just don't know what the hell I spent it on. I used to say I want to go across the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. I've been across both of those places. I've done that. When I tell you that other than when things happen to my family, I am perfectly happy and satisfied. I am perfectly happy and satisfied. The world and the
this was Takia Green said, Montana off the hook she is. Carolyn Hector Hall said, hey y'all, and Carolyn, we gotta get you on the show talking about your book. We gotta get you talking about your book. So the Richardson sisters. Now Sharice and I, we've had this conversation over the years by, at one point she wanted to kill one of my favorite characters. I cried and begged. I may even cussed her out and told her that she couldn't do that.
You did.
And then I had this conversation. Then when Danielle Allen did what she did, I want to say you inboxed me. You may not inbox me the conversation. She said, you know what? I should have killed that character. So let me ask you. I was like, you can't do like my you can't do what everybody else do. You're not everybody else. Yeah. I don't care if this is your story. But is it something in this book that you wanted to do in this character or with one of these characters that perhaps you didn't do and you think about, I should have done it?
I'm doing that now because I'm writing Alex's book now. So I'm breaking Alex down because Alex throughout all of the books, and you'll see in the July book as well, Alex is headstrong, she's bossy, she is
she reminds me of all of on here. I wonder who.
You
must be you.
Gotta be you. But she is always in her sister's business and stuff. So I had to create a bit of a scandal for her and get her out. She got to get out of everybody's business now. So yeah,
but that's what big sisters do.
Oh, tell me about it. I
That's
got
what big
one.
sisters do. We all up in our sisters and brothers' business. That's what we do. That's
That's
the
what you
that's the advantage of being the oldest.
I think
Mm-mm.
being the oldest is overrated. I'm the oldest. Let me tell you. Woo, it is overrated. I don't even want to get in there because look, somebody gonna say Sheera need therapy. I'll start probably bringing out Kleenex and tissues, but look, being the oldest is overrated. I am over it. I've been over it. Like I don't want to start turning into Sheera therapy session. So I'm gonna go on with this book. So what would like Logan, if there was one word that you a word, what give me like 3 words to describe him? Because I don't think one word would do it. What are 3 words
Let's
to
see.
describe him?
Logan is dedicated.
Dedicated.
He is
Mm-hmm.
he is honest to a fault, and he wants to see the good in everybody.
What do you think, Montana?
And I would add, he's humble. Logan is a very humble person. I dedicated, yes. Good to a fault. He sees the good in everything and everybody. That's why this
Mhm.
fool was able to get over on him like she did, because all he saw was good. He's very
Yeah.
humble, but he's also determined, because he was determined that he was going to keep what he had.
And
Yeah.
you know, and I agree with that, but I also think that he was a little naive on certain regards. I think he was naive, and it led him to be in certain situations and certain perils that perhaps he didn't understand. We still got feedback. If somebody got on little sister, okay. If anybody got their Facebook on,
Because my
Uh-uh.
phone is.
okay. So when what we're gonna do is mute. I'm gonna talk, and so while everybody's talking, mute the mics, and we'll do that. So we can try and give us some of the feedback. So mute your mic. I'm gonna mute. Okay. So I also think that he was extremely naive to a regards. And do you think? And usually the male character, the hero, is not naive. Usually the heroine. But she's holding on to her guns. Why did you feel the need to flip it, Sharice?
Um, because once I felt like, they when they dated in college, it wasn't like, fairy tale romance. They had some issues in college or whatever. And that's something that stayed with her. So that's why, when stuff started, going wrong in the marriage, she was like, we're not doing this again. And she was more, and she's Alex's sister, she's a lot like her older sister, where, she's going to see some stuff, and she's going to bring it up. She's going to bring it out.
100%. Bring it up. She
Yeah.
wasn't gonna take any shorts at
No,
all.
especially after, the thing that happened with her and what this had happened between her and Logan. So that kind of played a bigger role into why she just believed everything with without much question, even though she knew her husband loved her, knew what he went through to be with her, and knew how he took care of her when she needed it, when she didn't even turn to her family.
I think that's good.
Uh,
Now, Tony, do you feel that she allowed her past baggage to interfere with her future? Like Cherie said, she didn't even really give him a chance to explain. As we said earlier, honey, she came in like Rambo. When he walked in the door, he didn't have any defense, offense. She was just on it. Do you feel that she allowed her past to skew her judgment?
Yes, she did, because all in the back of her mind, she couldn't do what this person had done, and she knew that she couldn't. So he had gone out there and done control. She didn't give any thought to maybe if that was a why, or is this really true. She made up her mind the minute she opened that envelope that it was one and done. He was finished, kaput. There was nothing he could say or do that would change her mind. And I don't even think if she had gone to her family and told them what had happened in the past, and then told them what happened, she would have even listened to them to say, look, maybe you need to think this out before you throw him out with the dirty water. Nothing would have done. She let everything that had happened in her past control what she was doing currently. Yes.
And let me ask you too a question. Do you feel that we as women, when we carry that baggage, are we too quick to do that, or do you feel that a lot of times we women allow things to just keep building up, and we look past transgressions?
Well, I used to be the look past person, like, oh, you can change, blah blah blah. Then I had this situation happen that I'm writing about under alter ego, because it ain't no romance and people die, but it kept me from going to prison. So now it's like, as soon as I see a red flag, now I'm like,
Peace
deuces,
out.
like like, we ain't got no kids. I'm too old for this. No, go talk to your mama. Don't talk to me.
What about you, Mark Tony?
I think it depends on the situation and where you were in life at that point. At 20 and 21, you accepted everything. At 32, you accepted a little less. At 42, a little less. At this stage, if I was single like that now, not taking nothing. So the older you get, the more you mature, the more you learn about life and relationships. What you accept changes. The BS that you put up with at 21, you're not putting up with at 51.
I truly agree with that. And I think, like, how people say, well, people change. I always say you should change. If you're the same person at 50 or 45 that you were at 21, then that's not a lot of growth. And, a lot of things, like you said, that you may would have accepted then, or you would excuse then, like Sharice saying, you're like, boo, we're not even on this same boat. I'm not even giving you a chance to row that.
Nope. Because if you can't wash and vacuum my Mustang every week, we got a problem.
Montana, what you gonna do? Montana, what you gonna do?
But the older people used to say, it's an ill wind that never changes. And for a long time I didn't understand what my grandmother meant by that. But that means if you stay right where you are, 21, 31, 41, that means you aren't growing. And if you aren't growing, you can't help anybody else to grow and reach another level. So you got to be able to change, and everybody has had their moment of that aha moment of change, no matter when it came or how it came, or whether it came professionally or in regular life, but you had that aha moment and you realize, I'm really an adult now.
Yeah. And I think that she was still evolving and changing, and she was fighting hard not to be that person, that victim that she was in the past. And when she opened up that envelope, we ain't gonna tell you what the envelope said. You got to buy the book. Farrah Walker said she went to Amazon and bought it. She not ready about it. So we need a couple other people to go to Amazon and buy it. If you already purchased a copy, then purchase a copy for your friends. Books always make good gifts. And I think that when she opened the envelope, she saw herself going back to being that victim, to being that person. And she was like, no, boo. This is not going to happen again. And so she had that tunnel vision, and she didn't want to hear anything. She didn't want to see anything other than him being booted out that door.
She had blinders on because of that piece of paper. She had blinders on. She couldn't see anything to the left. She couldn't see anything to the right. And she definitely couldn't see anything behind her. All she saw was what was in front of her that was written on that piece of paper. And it controlled her entire being. It controlled everything that she did and said. Mm-hmm.
And then we got a member I call the book mafia. We got Leslie L. Wright on here. I call her affectionately, her, Cheryl, and Sherelle and Angela. I call them, and Anita, I call them the book mafia. # book mafia, because they book mafia to me. So in a good way, they know that in a good way. So when do you think the tide changed for her? When do you feel that she felt, okay, I need to listen. I need to be my own woman, and not really, because I think a lot of what she felt and how she initially reacted, it was due to the past, but also I think that she was maybe she was a peer pressured about how she felt her sisters would react and her dad, her family would react if they found out and she still was in that situation. So when do you think the tide changed for her and she actually started listening and giving in to her own feelings, but rather than maybe what everyone else thought for her.
I'm trying
It
to find
was
it.
it was a moment when her and Logan actually had an honest conversation with each other, that not only about the past and their past relationship, but like the last few months of their marriage. And he asked her a pointed question: when did you stop believing in us?
Woo! You
And
know what?
and she had to take
That was a
stock.
good line.
Mm.
That was a good line. Let me tell you. And I thought it was very deep for you, because you haven't, you're not married, but you've been in a relationship. Because when you're in a relationship, you have to believe. You have to believe and trust that other person. And I said, Sharissa's here doing some daggone pop psychology in this book. Because you know
Well,
what?
I interviewed married people to
Because I'm
come
saying,
up
once you
with
stop
this.
believing in someone, I remember listening to someone who they actually divorced this person, but then they're back together. That's happening. It's weird, but anyway. So I remember the point when she was saying, like, when he even ate, it gave her a headache. She couldn't even stand to see him chew, and I was like, "Well, dang." So
Dang,
stop
he
believing.
he's lucky he made it out there alive.
I was like, what? And I was thinking to myself, wow, this is bad. Anytime you feel that you can't even see your spouse chew, she said when he sat at the table, she rolled her eyes. Like when he went and got to the bathroom. So, honey, I know what they say with after the love is gone, after the
Mm-hmm.
love is gone. And believing stuff, like once you stop believing in something, it's hard to carry on a relationship.
That's true.
It's hard. Now, my Tony, do you feel a relationship can sustain itself after you stop believing a person, or is there some way for them to redeem themselves?
It,
Your mic, okay? Yeah, unmute your mic, Montana. There you
okay,
go.
sorry. It takes time. You have to go back to crawling before you can walk. You got to almost go back to the very beginning of the relationship. You know what they say? The same thing it took to get them, you got to do to keep them. Now the same thing that you did to win them over in the first time, you got to go back to doing those and take those baby steps. And hopefully within their heart, they'll find a place for forgiveness and moving on. Because you're not going to forget it, but you can forgive and move on.
Yeah, forgive. And I was like, you know what? I think in this book, she actually had to forgive herself. She had to forgive herself
Yes.
because she really didn't give him a chance to explain, or and I felt for him as well, because if you think you're in this love lusting relationship that's full of belief, then but something occurs and skews, and you're not given a point to even discuss the dissent, to retaliate, or anything of that nature. You yourself will have to feel like you're being victimized, which he was on one front. But if you look at it, he was even victimized by her. And then,
He was.
yeah, he
He was.
was.
He was, because she was ready to do some strange things.
Yeah.
she was she was ready to get her
Look,
revenge.
this is what
And
I said. Look, she remind me of old Master P, No Limit Soldier. Na 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 na. And everyone was gonna get it. Everyone was gonna get it, and she had to find out who she was. So, do you feel? Because this is. Do you feel that at the end, either one of you can answer that she actually found out who she is, or is she still searching? I'm gonna tell you what I think.
She's still searching.
I think so too.
She's still searching. Now she has a better idea of who she is, what she can do, and what she's capable of. But she's still searching, because in the back of her mind, like I said, she has not forgotten the things that brought her to that point.
her foundation was reinforced, and you'll get a glimpse of that in the final book of a little bit of the shakiness, but it's more of her inside herself than inside her marriage. You know,
Okay.
she,
All right. Uh-oh.
so
Now we got some tea right here. We got a little tea.
As we say, we got
We got
something right there, didn't we?
we got a little sip on the salsa. So let's talk about it in our last 5 minutes. So let's talk about your upcoming book, when we can purchase the book, and what platforms are we able to purchase the book from?
okay, so Open Your Heart is the third Richardson sisters book. It is Yolanda Richardson's story, and that's my little firecracker sister.
Yeah.
She's the most, well, I guess she would be the middle sister. She's the third sister, so, and she's the shortest one in the family. So she has to be extra. Yes. So Yolanda has a boutique in Richmond. She sees a murder one night, and then she starts to get death threats. So of course, Sheldon is not going to let harm come to one of his girls. So he hires a bodyguard for her. Enter Charles Chuck Morris. And they call him Chuck Morris because Chuck Norris, and it was funny when he was little. But he's a former Marine, personal security expert, and his job is to keep her alive. She don't want to do what he says. There's a little bit of attraction, but he knows that falling for a client can lead to deadly results, and he's trying hard not to fall for this woman.
Probably emphasis on the hard. We're gonna say emphasis on the hard part. We ain't gonna. So when will this book be released, Sharice?
This book will be released on July 27th of this year. Yay! And it's available for pre-order now everywhere that ebooks and books are sold. Amazon, Apple. There is a bookstore that I just discovered. It's in Chicago. It's called Semicolon Books. It is a Black-owned, woman-owned bookstore.
Awesome.
And their website is, I think, semicolon.com, but it's also on my website, which is thesharicehodges.com. You know, anywhere you buy your books from, you can pre-order the book. And, you know, July is going to be a hot month because I've been told this is a hot book.
All right. So remember, we're here to support. So even if you have purchased a copy of Won't Go Home Without You, please purchase another copy for one of your friends. Remember, books make gifts or family members. And Sharice, what's the title of your upcoming release?
Open Your Heart.
All right, so go and pre-order right now so you won't forget. Remember, it's very important that we support our authors. You know, we want to see them. We want to be successful. In order for them to be seen, it's important that we support their product. This is a money's game. This is a numbers game, people. So if you want your favorite authors to be out there, we got to make sure we support them. So, Sharice, how can people connect with you?
I'm on basically every form of social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Now we know you're on Facebook because Sharice on Facebook is a mess, honey. Let me tell you.
I mean, it's like it's crazy because when I got sick in March, that's how everybody knew something was wrong. Yeah. Because it's like you hadn't posted in a few days, like you hadn't posted in a week. And last night I just went through my voicemail, and it was like I had several messages from people that was like, I hadn't seen you on social media. What's wrong? Are you okay? Let me know you're still breathing. And, you know, sadly, when I got some of those messages, I was breathing through a ventilator, but
yeah,
but we're here.
Well, all right. Well, Sharice, we're gonna keep you high. We most definitely gonna keep you in prayer and keep your family in prayer. And make sure you go out and support. Go to her webpage, go to her Amazon, go to her Apple, whatever platform you buy books. Please go and purchase your book today. Purchase several books. And thank you, my Tony, for hanging out with us this evening.
You're welcome. And just let me say, if you haven't read any of Sharice's book, go back and read from her old catalog.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at you, you got them all.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, she don't.
Oh my gosh.
She went back old school.
Yep.
I haven't seen some of those books in years myself.
Visit me. I promise you they're on my shelf.
Look, I just want to go to Mama Tony's house and hang out in the book room. Look, I have to make sure I keep my hands up. But
Now, I get a feeling that, like, when I leave my sister's house, you'll be checked before you leave to make sure that you don't have no books that don't belong to you. That's how it is when I leave my sister's house, because
I,
I think she has like some first edition Brenda Jackson books and stuff, and it's like, yep, don't
oh
touch
yeah,
my book.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch the books yet. I don't blame you. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And from my bookshelf to yours, and my heart yours. Thank you and keep shining.
Good night.
Good night.